All right, welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be working on one of our enemy AI. We did this during the stream, so make sure you follow and make sure you have notifications on so you can see every time we're streaming. We're doing it live. But in addition to our isometric shooter here, we started working on some of the AIs. As you can see here, we got the goblins that'll kind of just chase us around. These are just going to be our first iteration of enemies. And then once they get close enough, start hitting me. But that's what we're going to be working on today for our single goblin guy. To start off, what we're going to do, this guy's going to be our base model. Just a part of the family of orcs back there. But we're going to go ahead, the most important one. We're going to be adding on Nav Mesh Agent. This is what's basically going to allow this guy to kind of roam around any of the Nav Meshes that we have in the game. What I could do, copy this, exact same values and size. If I paste the values, you'll see it kind of shrinks down to more his size. We're going to go ahead, we're going to steal Capsule Collider. Make sure he could also run into stuff. Collider. There we go. Pretty straightforward. We got that just surrounding him, and then we got the nav mesh on him, perfect size. The next script we're going to be adding, again, I already wrote this in our live stream. It's going to be our enemy AI script. This, we have a couple of variables in here. I can actually check out some of the code. So what we have here is the full script for the base AI I have right now. This simply handles chasing the player, stopping them if they're close enough, and attacking. In addition to that, it also has two basic animations right now, running and attacking. Really all the enemies are doing. We are going to be coming back to this video, actually to this script, I should say, rather. We're going to be adjusting this because I do plan on having like ranged enemies, enemies that stay far but will spawn others around them, stuff like that. So let's start from the top here. We have a couple of variables. I have all of these marked as public just because I'm going to change them depending on what kind of enemy we have. As you saw, for the majority of them, we have smaller orcs out in the main scene. But we also have that big guy, and I don't want them to move as fast. You know, different enemies, different moves, different health. So I have these marked as public just for now so that we could adjust as we go. We're going to get access to our animator. We're going to go ahead and have our Nav Mesh agent. For this, you might have to add this line. For me, once I added it, it automatically added the AI Unity engine. On top of that, we're going to want another variable for the target. So right now, I only have this set up for single player. Please keep that in mind. Right now, as soon as the game starts, we're just assigning these automatically. So Nav Mesh agent is going to be assigned, the animator is going to be assigned, and then the target, we're going to go ahead and look through the game, find the object with the tag of player, and then assign it to be that. Moving down into our update function, we have a float for the distance between the enemy and the target. We're going to be measuring those 2 points. We're going to say if the distance is less than our stopping distance. Stopping distance is just how close or how far you want the enemy to actually stop when they get towards the player. Right now, I have mine set to very low. I think mine is set to 2 because these are all going to be melee people. If you have maybe like some sort of shooter, so they have a crossbow or a gun, that stopping distance might be a lot more. But if that distance is less than our stopping distance, we're going to go ahead and stop the enemy, own little function, and we're also going to attack. If not, so else, we're going to go ahead and continue moving towards that target. So let's start going over what this go-to target function does. Despite the animations, for now, we won't pay attention to those. It's going to be looking at that Nav Mesh agent that we added on the goblin, and it's going to say that it's not stopped. This guy's going to keep running until he's at that distance. Remember, this is moving towards the target. In addition to that, I also have it where they're looking at the target. This proved to have a couple bugs in it. Depending on how close that stopping distance is, it does cause the enemy to kind of flop forward. But for right now, I have it at a 2. That's enough distance for the enemy to swipe and hit the player. So I have this set so that they're always looking at him no matter what direction the players are at. And then we're going to go ahead and take that Nav Mesh agent and set its destination to be the target's transform position. Wherever the player's moving, it's going to be constantly set here. When we, again, when that distance is less than or equal to the stopping distance, when we're past that 2 or we're at 2 or less than that, what we're going to do is go ahead and stop them. That's stopping it. And then we're also going to have an attack. So for me, I had a little bit of a cooldown because if not, it's just going to keep attacking. So for me, what I did, I went ahead and checked if time, so this is the time since the last frame. If that time is less or minus the attack time. So if since that last frame, time since the beginning of this frame, minus the last attack time is greater than our attack cooldown. And again, I have those variables public, so we could change that. Maybe make it a lot higher if you have like a heavy hitter, or a lot slower if you hit like a weak enemy. But we're basically saying if that time is more than our attack cooldown, so if it's more than 2 seconds, what we're gonna go do, again, not looking at animations right now, we're gonna update that last attack time to be the frame that we just attacked. For me, this is gonna be different for me. I already have my health system set up, so all I'm doing is getting the player stats off of my target and running this function. So in our player stats, or in our overall character stats, I should say, that the player stats inherits from, we have this take damage, and this is just for overall anyone, enemies and players. So what we're doing, we're just running that function. We're going to take damage, and we're going to feed in the float that we have up here. Again, this is going to change depending on what you want your enemy to, how hard you want your enemy to hit, I should say. In addition to that, I'm also running another function on our target. We're going to go ahead and just basically update our health. So for this, all it's doing is checking if our health is ever greater than the max health. Again, I created a cap in the last live stream we did. In addition to that, in this check health method, we also have it checking if health is less than or equal to 0. Because then, if so, we're going to run that die function. But for right now, that should be it for the enemy. Again, if you want to see us do this live, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Try to stream every other day. This has just been my 2023 projects. Nothing too crazy here. For now, I'll also add on the enemy stats. This isn't required for the player to get moving, or for the enemy to get moving. So if you want, I can just go ahead and remove that. These are the main essentials: our Nav Mesh agent, Capsule Collider, our enemy agent. And now what we can do, go ahead and turn off all of these guys. I want none of them attacking us. Split our screen, and now we'll see game. As soon as we start the game, this guy should turn towards us. Yeah, see how he started turning towards us? Let me see. I'm going to go ahead and unpause it. Now, our enemy will start to just take off after us. And right now, he's just T-posing, but as you can see, he's looking at me constantly, and he's running towards me. Nothing wrong with that. And then if I get close, actually, that's health set 100, just so I can show you that the damaging also still works. Play this game one more time. We'll see that once this guy's distance less than 2, he's going to start attacking his damage. That goblin damaged. Enter that. You'll see I'll start taking damage. Also pay attention to that last attack time. You'll see it's being updated every 2 seconds. I could run away from him. That last attack time set close, he'll start hitting us. Start taking damage here. Down every every 2 seconds. In addition to this, we're also going to implement some animations. So what we can do, I'm going to go back inside of here. We already had access to that animator, but this is where these booleans are coming in. So I only use 2 booleans right now, technically 3 because of the death, but still working bugs with that. I only have a running and attacking because that's literally all this enemy is going to do. You can change it up depending on how you want it. But right now, if we're moving towards a target, we're just set as running to be true. We're attacking is attacking to be. Nothing too complex. Pretty easy. Again, very simple animation. Let's take a look at the character controller, or the animator controller for this. I'm going to give you the orc controller. This orc controller is very, very basic. Let me put this back. All it's doing on entry, game starts, our guy's going to be running. He's going to spawn, he's going to identify the player, start running towards him, right? In addition to that, I have this attack. I have this as a right-hand attack. I will be making another tutorial showing you guys how to basically randomize different animation controllers. So, for example, all my orcs right now don't share the same controller. I have like 3 different iterations. Mainly what it is, attack and the running changing. But in the default one, we're running, attacking. Under our parameters, we have our 3 little booleans here. For the transitions, this guy, side, all I got going for here, transition between running and attacking, I'm going to go ahead and say is attacking has true. I'm going to actually remove has exit time because we don't want them to have to wait until that running animation is done in order to actually, or play the animation. They'll still attack, the animation just won't be synced and it'll. Going back from that right hand attack over to running, all we're doing, just saying running is true. Nothing too crazy there. So now, dock all of our stuff back. We dock this at the bottom so I can, guys. So keep an eye on these animations. I'll do the same thing. We're going to pause and play the game. We'll start the game. You'll see on entry, as soon as I unpause this, running should start. Oh. Goblin. So he's attacking right now. If I run away from him, he'll run after me. You'll see that running is loop. It's a little faster. This one might be one of my faster enemies. But you can see as soon as I stop, it's in range. Attacking becomes true. And then we're going to be working on this death spawn because currently, if I were to take this, oh, he doesn't even have enemy stats. If we were to set this, it would start to glitch out really bad. I have to figure out what I'm going to have to change. But as of right now, our main melee enemy is set to go. So then this guy, oh, technically I died. I can't even move right now. Male player, health is set 5. So maybe he's just like a little bit of a faster character that'll attack you, right? Let's go ahead and play this. So now no matter what, he's going to be running after me. I'm going to be able to kind of outrun him. Yeah, there we go with the attacking. Animations are playing. See that distance. So I think one thing that you need to check too, make sure that you don't apply root motion, because what that will do, look here. If I were to delete this attack and then remove our enemy AI script from him, right now he solely should just act as a normal walking, running enemy. But you'll see with that apply root motion, that animation is going to make him move. So he'll start moving no matter what. If I uncheck it, you'll see the animation still plays. Now he's not moving. So make sure, this really is up to you. You can have it where maybe movement is applied through animations. Totally up to you. But in this case, just make sure you don't have apply root motion. Because if you do, he's going to start running off like nothing. But we don't want that to happen. We're going to AI script back on. Animator, we're going to put that back. One last time. We're going to apply root motion. That's why he was kind of sliding, if you noticed. He slid when he was near me. That's what that was. That root motion plus my normal movement was overlapping, so pushing him a little too far. What week? Load. Game. See, now he's not glitching out as much. or at all, really. Before it was like double glitching, but you can see now he kind of trails. In addition to having that root motion, you see how much faster he moves? If I turn that off, he stops. All right. But anyway, that's been it for that, guys. That was just a quick way to make a nice, simple enemy AI. Again, if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe. Make sure you turn post notifications on to keep up to date with this isometric shooter that we're going to be making this year. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.